Now, time for the fastest, most impactful monologue in America. And we begin with the war on drugs, which has been going on for decades. Remember this.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
We also had the Nancy Reagan one, just say no, which, by the way, didn't work. So the difference between your brain on drugs then and your brain on drugs now is that those drugs are more lethal than ever. They're killing you, and they're being funneled through our country to kill us by other countries. The president and President Trump isn't standing for it anymore. How do I know? I've been paying attention. We have never seen a week like this. I mean, I'm talking about the war on drugs. It is a shooting war on drugs happening before our eyes. For starters, the U.S. military blew up a drug smuggling cartel boat off the coast of Venezuela. You're looking at it right now in the Caribbean. Probably going to go to Trinidad, then to our shores. It was transporting illegal narcotics, heading right to the U.S. Watch.
If you're on a boat full of cocaine or fentanyl or whatever headed to the United States, you're an immediate threat to the United States. And the president, under his authority as commander-in-chief, has a right, under exigent circumstances, to eliminate imminent threats to the United States. We're not going to sit back anymore and watch these people sail up and down the Caribbean like a cruise ship. Interdiction doesn't work because these drug cartels, what they do is they know they're going to lose, 2% of their cargo. They bake it into their economics. What will stop them is when you blow them up, when you get rid of them.
And that's what we did, and it won't be the last time. 11 members of the Venezuelan cartel, TDA, also killed. Another show of force. Look at this. Federal officials, high seas interception of hundreds of thousands of pounds of chemicals coming from the Nexus, China, destined for the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico.
What you're looking at right now is 1,300 barrels of precursors to methamphetamine that the Sinaloa cartel needed to complete their production of methamphetamine. It's going to take 24 18-wheelers to remove these barrels to a secure storage location. But I want you to visualize that instead of these containers or these barrels, that you see American bodies, because that's what's happening in China's undeclared war against the United States, working with Mexico, the Sinaloa cartel, a foreign terrorist organization that is producing these illegal drugs that are killing Americans on a daily basis.
Story being told here, 420,000 pounds of meth that have been converted to the street value. If you actually do that and play it out, $569 million. Somebody would have made that. The Trump administration is now intimidating these South American countries participating just by showing some muscle and telling everyone there's going to be consequences for trying to get America hooked on drugs, and in many cases, one and done, death. So, like designating 2 Ecuadorian gangs as foreign terrorist groups. That was Marco Rubio on Thursday. Sending 10 F-35 fighter jets to Puerto Rico as part of a buildup in the Caribbean, which also includes a trio of warships, among other Navy assets. And terminating the 2021 designation put out there by Joe Biden of Venezuelans for temporary protective status. That's gone. Bad actors no longer welcome here.
Venezuela has been very bad, both in terms of drugs and sending some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world into our country. They emptied out, you don't know this, but they emptied out their prisons in Venezuela, and they emptied them out into the United States of America. And that's part of the problem we have. We're getting them out. We're getting them out rapidly.
It's what he said on the campaign trail and what he's doing in real time. Trump's war on drugs is in play. And by the way, it's working. And it's just not over yet either, because the narco cartels are creating new ways to poison Americans. They're trying to get us back with this thing called netazine, which is 43 times more powerful than fentanyl.
It comes mostly in a powdered form, or it can be crushed into pills, which means it can be mixed into other drugs. The problem is, because it's so potent, if you take it, you're dead. Mm-hmm. And now the cartels are using it as a way to actually add into other drugs to try to make them more potent, and it's just creating another crisis on top of the fentanyl crisis.
Yeah, they want a body count. They don't want addicts, and that's what's different about this. And they're finding new ways to fight us at our border.
We are increasingly concerned that these cartels are now in possession not just of landmines and grenade. We're now seeing the deployment of drone technology by narco-terrorist groups operating out of Venezuelan territory in many cases into Colombia.
So they're fighting back. So if this week tells us anything, it's this country under this president is more than equipped than ever before to take on these cartels and these countries that get in our way. This is essentially a shooting war on drugs.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.